Welcome back to my channel, everybody. Um, I'm not gonna lie, it has been a day. If gonna be real with you, like, so honest. You know those days when you struggle with not just self-worth, but like literally every single thing that's on your plate. It was one of those days for me today, and I think on days like that, it is very key to remind yourself that bad days happen and to be kind to yourself. Yeah, it was a be kind to yourself kind of day for me today. So to be kind to myself today, I treated myself to some books. Well, I bought myself a book, and I let myself wander through the bookstore. I went with my sister, so I wasn't completely alone, and she treated me to lunch, which was so nice. But yeah. One of the bookstores we went to was called It's a Love Story. It's a local shop that specializes in romance of all kinds. Primarily, there's a focus on romantasy, but they also have, a section for dark romance, contemporary, teeniest, tiniest queer romance. They have some really cute looking blind date with the books. Yeah, I went to some bookstores today and I almost made it out without buying anything at all. But my local bookstore, that isn't It's a Love Story, has no idea about special books, and sometimes that works to my advantage. So I found in their Tolkien section, I found a special edition of Sir Gawain, written by Tolkien. It is so beautiful. Just look at this. Look at the lovely foil. Look, it does have, the back here. I just kind of want to show it off because I paid $17 for this. And if you look it up on eBay, you'll find it is worth way more than that. It has never been read. I can tell by the binding. It has a ribbon bookmark here. And, of course, Tolkien's stamp. And then there's the good lighting. There we go. It's so beautiful. Yeah, it's called Sir Gawain and the Green Knight and then there's Pearl and Sir Orfeo. I, like most of the world, have really only read Tolkien's Lord of the Rings series. And if I'm honest, I've read The Hobbit. I've read The Hobbit and then Through the Forest with Tom Bombadil, but Tom Bombadil kills the Fellowship of the Ring for me every single time that I try to read it. I've read The Two Towers, and then I've read about half of The Return of the King. So one day I will read them all. I do own them, so I'm gonna read them. But this is a beautiful addition to my Tolkien shelf. It's going to live there. I will probably maybe read it. This is an investment, so I didn't have any qualms about spending $18. And yes, I understand I'm in the process of downsizing my bookshelves, but sometimes exceptions must be made. I also finished a book last night. I'm gonna count it as the first book that I read this year all the way through, even though I have listened to Howl's Moving Castle probably twice through already, and I had kidney stones earlier this year, so I listened to the entire Legends and Lattes trilogy. Can you call it a trilogy if they're not directly related and it's just like in the same universe but different characters for each story? I don't know. We're going to call it a trilogy. But I've listened to those audiobooks. I don't know if you can count that as listening because of my kidney stones. I was high on medication. I was in so much pain I could barely function. So listening actively was not really happening. Same with Howl's Moving Castle. I started that towards the end of my kidney stone journey, and then I just kept listening to it. But I'm going to count this book that I'm about to mention as the first book that I fully read this year. Kill Creatures by Rory Power. I am perplexed, let's say. I can't say that this book was bad, but I can't say it was good. And if you watched my last video with my mostly cozy recommendations, you'll remember that I suggested Wilder Girls by Rory Power. It's still one of my top favorite books, and I really love Rory Power's writing. She is an effective author. It's not a very long book, as you can tell, so this was a really quick read, but the whole thing I'm gonna say was really disappointing. So the synopsis is this girl, Nan, and this is not going to be a spoiler because it's in the description, but Nan is a high schooler who last year was considered the sole survivor of like a misadventure that she and her friends had. As far as the town is concerned, her friends died in a canyon. Partially true, but Nan is the one who killed them, not nature or, an accident of some kind. Nan killed them. Nan is the main character. You're in her mind the entire time. One of the girls that was presumed dead comes back to life. She was never really dead to begin with. You find out at the end where she was and why. But a lot of the time, Nan is spent in her mind wondering and fearing when the truth is going to come out. Her friend Luce comes back from the dead, as I mentioned, and because Luce came back, the case is essentially reopened. It's not really stated directly that the case is being reopened and re-examined, but that's what most of this book is the new sheriff in town is trying to figure out what really happened that night. And Nan is doing her best to kind of navigate and control all of the interrogation and investigation that is happening. When I say that a character repeating something drives me crazy, it's very rare. But in this one, she keeps calling the group of friends my girls. And I don't know what it was about it. I think maybe the fact that she's a teenager, calling a group of friends my girls felt so unreal to me. It was unrealistic. I mean, what teenager, especially now, is going to be referencing their friends as my girls? It is sapphic, so there is a little bit of, I think, of that connotation of wanting a romance with one of the characters, but at the same time, we can call them my friends or something like that, you know? Okay, I think we get it. My girls drove me crazy. And a lot of the time, being with Nance in her mind was deeply unsettling. So in that way, I think Rory Power did what she needed to do as an author. Nan is a killer. She killed her friend groups. She murdered them. She's an extremely unlikable narrator. I wish we weren't in her mind for the entirety of the book, but it is what it is. When I wasn't being deeply unsettled by Nan, I felt like her voice was really detached. I felt like maybe part of it could have been attributed to like a trauma response, maybe, but there's another part underlying that it was like she was being hinted at that there was like a mental disorder, a personality disorder, something of that nature. But I don't know, it didn't come across as anything specific or clear. There's a hint that something within her, some darkness within her, might be hereditary, but beyond that, there's no name for it. We really follow the story for what felt like only a couple of days, but here in this really small, sleepy town in Utah, there's not much going on, and this story for the past year of the girls who died in the canyon has taken up everyone's mind. There's a lot of, I want to say, like, manipulation with some of the characters here. I don't read a lot of thriller, horror, or anything like that. Murder mystery, nothing too frequent for me. I don't dislike the genre. I would love to read more of it. So if you've got great recommendations, please let me know. But as far as a YA murder mystery thriller goes, I give this one maybe like a 3-star. It was quick, it was entertaining. I wanted to find out the reason why Nan killed all of her friends, and especially when she considered them the entire time her friends and kept saying my girls and saying that this was how she loved them. Another thing that really kind of annoyed me about this book was I could see everything coming. Like I said, I don't read a lot of thriller mysteries or anything along those lines where you have to continually guess at the plotline. But as soon as all of the setup was done, once the characters were all introduced, I knew exactly what was going to happen. I knew where this was going to go. I just kept reading with the thought in the back of my mind, please don't let the motive be what I think it is, because it felt so melodramatic and so unbelievable. Like, I'm not going to spoil anything, but there could have been a lot more done with the motive. There could have been a lot more done with so much of this book. But yeah, it was a solid 3-star. The ending, when all of the revelations were coming to light, and Nan was sitting there and she's like, I don't get it. I don't get it. Why? What? Who? When? Like, come on, Nan, you're not that dumb. You might see things the way that you want to see them, but you're not that dumb. And Luce was talking very clearly, and for the sake of spoilers, I'll just leave it at that. Nan is dumb, and she drove me crazy and was deeply unsettling. I also, for the most part of this book, listened to the audiobook. And I mean, I don't think the audiobook really did it any justice. Um, no hate to the narrator. I'm sure she narrates and does her job very well. It's not easy to narrate an entire book, I'm sure. But the way that she read Nan's character, it was really melodramatic the entire time. It's really over the top, really just, I don't know, it irritated me, especially with how Nan is as a character. If you're gonna read this, I recommend just read the physical book. And I would also maybe recommend go into it knowing you're gonna know everything that's happening. It's an entertaining. Is it entertaining? Was I entertained? I can't even say for sure if I was entertained. I don't know. I was disappointed. I mean, I feel like I've rambled on about this book long enough. Yeah. I am currently reading, though, The Undertaking of Heart and Mercy, and I know I'm a little bit behind the fanaticism for this book, but it is super cute. I've been telling people who haven't read it that it's basically You Got Mail, but with Undertakers in a fantasy world. I'm about 90 pages into it right now, which isn't very far, but it has taken me all of January to get through 90 pages. If you know a little bit about what's going on in my life, I'm going to count that as a major accomplishment between having kidney stones and job hunting after being laid off the week before Christmas. It's been chaos. So I, through January, have been working on getting healthier. I have been working on downsizing a lot of what I have, so that way when I move in May, it's going to be fine. I have been working on getting my house cleaned. Um, and if you're into like cleaning, organizing videos, please let me know. I have thought about creating one of those videos for this channel. And I know some people really love them, some people don't. Sometimes they can be book adjacent, like organize my bookshelves with me. Clearly it needs it. And especially with me organizing my books and cutting out a bunch of things to unhaul. I think maybe that would be one that I would start with. If you're interested, please do let me know. I think this is a good option for February to focus on, especially with it being what's considered a cozy romance. I know we're a week into February almost. And next week I'm going to be in Vegas for One Piece Nats. It also means I'm not going to have a lot of time to focus. I will bring this with me, but no guarantees I'm going to be able to read and when. Another book that I am considering picking up, hopefully through this month, Runes and Brews. It is a cozy, low-stakes romantasy. I'm pretty sure it's self-published. I got it off of Amazon. So this book sounds really cute. It's about a shopkeeper who is trying to, not live the life and adventure. He's a coward, is really kind of what it says at the beginning. What does a coward do in the world of an adventure? He meets a handsome adventurer who comes into his shop, and he gets entangled up in, silent wars, probably some politics. It just sounds like a cute, fun time. A little bit like Legends and Lattes, but so I want to try this. I'm susceptible to people talking about books on the internet. I'm going to own up to that. But I have picked up Dungeon Crawler Carl. It sounds like a really hectic, chaotic good time. it sounds weird to say because the premise starts off with most of the population in the world dying because the aliens collapsed all the buildings, and anyone inside a building at that time ceased to exist. The aliens state that humans have utilized too many resources, and the aliens are reclaiming all of the resources that have been used by now. And the only way to get them back and to regain control of Earth out of the aliens' control is to have people go into various different dungeons. There's 18 levels, and anyone who survives the 18th level, if they can at all, will become the new ruler of Earth, essentially. So we got Carl and his cat, Donut. It sounds like a mix between sci-fi and Dungeons and Dragons. And honestly, I'm here for it. I'm here for something super unserious. I'm here for something adventure. I just want something fun and, to kind of escape all of this. Yeah, I started it last night. I started it last night and I am on chapter 2, which is only 13 pages in. It's enough to get me hooked. I was really tired. It was like 4 a.m. when I started this, so naturally I didn't make it very far. But I'm excited to keep reading. It sounds like a heckin' good time. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now with my reading. 1 book this year, and I'm counting it as a roaring success, even if it was only a 3-star. And I feel like I'm being generous with that 3 stars. But if you have other book suggestions, I'm really into the cozy romanticities, low stakes, low spice. I mean, I can do some spice, but it's not my favorite. And then just chaotic, fun, good times. Let me know. Thank you for watching. I appreciate your time and your support, and I hope to continue this journey with you along the way. If you like this video, give me a like, a subscribe, maybe a comment. Tell me, it doesn't even have to be about books, just tell me something. If you're struggling, just be kind to yourself. You deserve happiness. You're gonna get there. Things are gonna be just fine, right? Yes, trust that everything's gonna work out fine. I believe in you. I believe in myself. I believe in everyone that I love. And in the meantime, keep reading, keep kind, and I will see you next time. Bye!